Hello, and welcome back to Making a Tabletop RPG in 30 days. We're on day 10. Yesterday we worked a bit on the monster sheets and monster generation stuff, how to make encounters. And we do have a lot to fill out on the traveling events and the random encounter tables. But I think I'm going to take a slight break from that and see if I can figure out some character abilities instead. Um, Not really for any particular reason, other than I feel like working on this today. And I think when you're doing these type of projects, working on what's like fun in the moment is pretty like important. Because that's what you have inspiration for, so that's where you get the good ideas. Um, I would like to make some. Yeah, let's just get started. We want to add an ability here. We just do this so we don't have to like fix the text. Is that, yeah, maybe we want that much spacing between them. Does that look ugly? Yes. We don't need that much spacing. We'll just do this. I think I want some type of effect that I had this idea for a name for an ability. Mysterious. And I think I want them to be able to do once per journey. Um, uh, when you succeed on a test, you can count the card used as a face card. So this would not be immediately useful because it doesn't actually help you at succeed a test, but some effects care about face cards, so or they will. Um, uh, Should we allow this to work for other characters? I think so. Whenever a character succeeds on a test, succeed? That's fine, I think. They may count that card, the card used as a face card. Cool. Let's go back to some of the ones that are like easy to design for. Hunter, we can do some interesting stuff with, I think. Find them. Yeah, so this is like a hunter's mark type of thing, which is pretty basic, but I'm a pretty basic guy. There we go, because journeys take like many days. So you don't want this to be quite spammable. Yeah, that's fine, I think. What should the hunter have more? I do want them to have like sort of weapon specialization stuff for bows. Like they are better at bows than anyone else is. But I don't want to lock them to bows. This is like a really dumb ability name, but I kind of like how on the nose it is. Uh, when a combat encounter starts, you may immediately make a ranged attack against. Make a ranged attack. This is done before determining initiative order. So yeah, you get an alpha strike. You get to attack first, and it has to be with a ranged attack, which I kind of like. They're not supposed to be like assassins. They're not sneaking up and melee striking things. You just shoot them. What was the bow ability again? Where's the equipment? Here we go. Bow ability is double damage. I think I want to give them out an armor. Was spear armor piercing? Spear is armor piercing. I thought about giving them an armor piercing ability, but it would be redundant on spears. Hmm. What else would like a soul hunter type ranger character be who's like they are partially tasked with hunting down lost like escapee souls that have run to Earth. So basically hunting down ghosts in real space. Um what type of abilities would they have beyond that? Obviously we could do like some basic like cool ranger things. I don't think I want them to have any special affinity with beasts or anything like a traditional ranger, because that's not really what they are, and not what they're about. Should they have a bonus against spirits, maybe? Hmm. What if we do? Your attacks ignore incorporeal. Then I want a minor sacrifice. Attack. Um. After you hit with an attack, uh, deal soul damage equal to the health damage dealt. Attack. You can make this sacrifice. So, like a condition to when it is actually triggered. Um, yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Would be very good against like any characters who spend soul, like wizards, or I think spirits will probably have that ability. So we're making this. I I hate to use D&D analog, but their class identities are very well known. So this is not the ranger class. This is the paladin class. mm. Do we want to give them a heal ability? Do we want them to have a sacrifice ability that heals, maybe? What would that be then? Hmm. I added a heal ability somewhere, right? Is it Cyan that has one? No. Thought I added a healing ability somewhere. Hmm. I think I want specifically it not to be usable on yourself. Did I not make a healing ability? I kind of remember making one, but maybe I just thought about adding one. This is elemental damage. The Reaper does not have a heal. You do not have a heal yet. I need to change the size of these, but because this is looking really messy. Not a heal. Not a heal. Not a heal. Not a heal. Dreaming skill. Yeah, I don't think I made a healing skill. Yeah, we'll make this one then. Let me a card. Um, um, restore health to the character equal to twice the the amount of soul sacrificed. I distinctly remember making this ability before. Did I really like just think about this off stream or something? How many T's did I put in that? I really remember using this design before. This is like a counterspell one, so it has the double sacrifice. Demons don't have it. No. Did I put it here somewhere? Oh, it's this. Yeah, I kind of like everyone having that ability, actually. Hmm. And this is a lot worse. Yeah. Hmm. Do we want this to be a soul restore then? I don't like this for this character then. I think I will just cut that. Hmm. I want to think a bit more about this class then. What should it actually have? Obviously, I want some stuff that aids in like the traveling mechanics and stuff, but I think I'll wait with those until it finishes. Maybe we'll start with the demon abilities then. Can I? Yeah. I don't want this much space on these. So this is where the actual abilities start. That is a pre-borning ability. Um, yeah, this could be like a starting ability, I guess. Hmm. What should demons do? Demons in my other game are basically paladins. Um, they are like oathbound. They can't, which is sort of like the taboo system here. I do want to do something kind of different though. Um, I think demons want to have. Hmm. I'm actually kind of stuck at the moment. I thought I really felt like making character abilities, but I'm like 20 minutes in and I barely made anything. Hmm. Should I pivot maybe? Do something else for today? But I'm really in the headspace to make abilities. I'm just not coming up with good ideas. Um, I do want a magic system, so I want like an amount of spell casting. Who should be good at spell casting? I think the Scion should be good at spell casting. I think the Demon should be good at spell casting. I think Reaper should be like, uh, in D&D terms, like a half caster. Like they can do some spell casting, but I think they'll have like things that help them with the resource management, but actually don't make them any better at spells. Um, Mm. Ooh. Um. Uh, um. Generic saxophone. Yeah. I think that's pretty useful ability. And like that, the liar ones are not allowed to do trickery. I think I want to try to do some abilities for all of these. All your attacks deal fire damage. Um, hmm. Hmm. I want one for each at least today. I want a better word for that as well. No, this. Let's just do this. Uh, a friendly character in a boon. You may spend a card of soul to gain the same boon. Hmm. No, this is. This one is the item and inventory stuff one. Hmm. May spend a card of soul to gain advantage to a loot test. To advantage when generating a random reward. Instead of generating a random before generating a random reward, make this sacrifice to count the card as a face card. I would write biblical greed for the memes, but I don't want to use actual real world religions, so I might just call it diabolic greed. Yeah, I think all of these are fun. I would 100% take this and just like loot goblin my way through everything. I that's just who I am. I would just loot goblin. I just want to loot goblin. Every time there's a chest, I'll run for it and be like, diabolic greed. Um, I think that's really fun. This is an ability I always like these type of synergy abilities where you can duplicate other people's good effects. Um, I really like this as an idea. I think this is cool. I think this is just like a good thing. It's like very like casually good. I think it's something you probably want to pick up on your characters. Just fire damage instead of regular damage is like better against most things. Yeah, I think this is good. We have a half an hour left. Let's make some more abilities. Do we want to already put a second page in here? I think so. But we want a fresh one that doesn't have the thingy. So we'll steal the character creation page, I think. Yeah, we'll duplicate this. And then we'll drag this down to... Where are we? Here. So we have this one here, and this one here. And we call this demon. And we'll just erase this. We should make one Let's make one each, where they can only have it. Why did it copy like that? Oh, I actually do have them in the wrong order. I actually want them in the correct order, though. So let's just do this. For this one, I'll just type it. I want one each where they all can have, and then some generics, maybe. So these were all abilities that like embodied another one's taboo, kind of. I want this to be like the upside of this. So murder might get a healing ability, but there's already a generic one. No, I want them to have a heal actually. Hmm. Um. When resting, you may spend a card of soul of soul to restore a card the same amount of health to all friendly characters. Yeah, you have like a camp heal ability. Just restore some extra life for everyone. Um mm, if you have not reached your taboo this journey, you may have advantage on this. So you can still pick the high or the low card. It's your choice. You just have more options. I like all of them having this thing. Um, I think this should be a truth-seeing one. Here's the skills. I have no idea. One day I will learn. Here. We have insight. Okay. You have advantage on insight. If anyone lies to you this scene, you will know it. Why am I typing this here? Uh, excess. Success is the item one. Hmm. Hmm. What would this do? What's like a benefit to not having a bunch of items and stuff? Or like consumables. Hmm. Uh, whenever a friendly character adds an item to um makes a reward test, you restore soul equal to the value of the reward card. So when someone does like a loot test to determine random items, you gain soul because you like it when other people get stuff. And this is like another incentive to a another friendly. So like, yeah, you get the loot. Uh, if you have not breached your taboo this journey. As long as you have not breached your taboo this journey. You have not reached reached your taboo this journey. Whenever another friendly character gains a negative, I think I called them Bane. You may gain that Bane instead. I don't think this needs a secondary ability. That's pretty powerful already. You can like transfer negative conditions to yourself. You might give them an ability to purge negative conditions, so you kind of have some synergy. That could be cool. Uh, hmm. I do think we want like a series of non-conditional abilities. So right now we have like 4 abilities that 3 classes each can take, or like subtypes, and then we have 4 abilities that only one of them can take. So we obviously want a lot more abilities, but I think we shouldn't have more restrictive abilities, or maybe have them more like these ones where they're open to most characters, because we don't want to print too many abilities either. Um, yeah, I don't think we want to do this. How did storms work? I had an idea. Mm, I think I want that to be a spell though, that you can like change the storm. Yeah, I think I want that to be a spell. Hmm. Let's just steal this for a second. You may spend health instead of soul when casting spells. Um, when sacrifice soul for spells, you may sacrifice health instead. I think we'll just do this so it looks nice and pretty. Yeah, so basically you can pay with health instead of soul, which is only really effective if you're spending a lot of soul, but having the option is kind of interesting. Especially if they have like ways to heal health, and I think I want to give them more ways to heal health. Um, mhm. Hmm. What else are we doing? It was toying with a mechanic where, like a GM mechanic. sort of like eye awareness or whatever it was called in One Ring. There's like a bunch of those mechanics with like GM tokens, and I want them to be to adjust results on random effect tables. Um, and I think maybe that's a resource that Demon will work with. So I'll leave myself a note here. I don't think I'll make these today, but me- mechanic um tokens do demons generate them, and we can call those tokens. I had an idea in the back of my head for it, but I've forgotten it already. It was sort of like bad luck. It was omen tokens. Uh, that could be interesting. So you can sort of screw over your party for personal benefit, which would not align with the selfishness one, but it's kind of interesting, and I kind of like the idea. Um, you can just kind of be a menace, and maybe that's something the Dreamer sort of does as well. Mm. What would this do? I kind of wanted it to be um, allow them to have any. Yeah. Um. mm, I don't know what this does yet, but I kind of love the idea. And I don't want all their abilities to be item based. These are very not fleshed out, but I really like the concept of them as a sort of a do whatever you want faction. So I kind of want them to be SDR for now. What do Reapers do? I did want them to be sort of like resource management uppy downy class. I have a very popular one in my other game in playtesting, which is the Dampier, which has like a blood mechanic they have to manage, and if you manage it really well, so you're constantly swapping between being hungry and fed, you can do some crazy stuff with it, and that's been pretty cool. Um, hmm. If you kill another character at the end of the scene. May. I don't know what this does either, but I want rests to not be like every time you make a step on the map, or at least not a recoverable like level of rest. So yeah, let's do that. They can make like safe zones, sort of. Hmm. Um. Hmm. Hmm. What would this do? So another healing mechanic. I want a reference to the chess game from what's the name in English? The Seventh Sealed? Seventh Sealed? Tror jag Sjunde inseglet in Swedish, I forget. I've actually watched that movie. Do I want the chess game? I don't know how really to make that a thing. I might have a reference to it. Hmm. Is that a crazy ability? I feel like that it's a kind of a crazy ability. I want some social, like non-combat abilities as well, but for now, I want them to be kind of combat heavy. Um, So you're really good at just sitting back, and then at a pivotal moment, you like chime in with your thing. Um, mhm. I'd like to make one more ability before the time runs out. And I do have to go because I have RP in 22 minutes. What else could be cool for them? Um, it's another combat ability, which I get is kind of boring, but I do want a lot of combat abilities. I want this to be the combat class, which might be like sort of unsurprising, maybe. Um, hmm. So ignores resistances, ignores immunities. You just always deal your damage. I think that's a cool thing. I want probably the rest to be non-combat abilities now. This is getting too much. Um, ignore any disadvantages you have on traveling tests. So you don't get that advantage, you just ignore disadvantages. I think that's pretty neat. Yeah, I think that's cool. I think I'll wrap it up there. I'm kind of flagging a bit, and inspiration is not quite what I thought it was. I'm very excited about it. I'm not like that tired dullness where I don't want to work on it. I'm actually kind of hyped to work on it. It's just the ideas are not quite coming. I had a long day at work today, so maybe I'm just a bit tired that way. Um, I'm excited to continue tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be another rough day though, so hopefully inspiration will still strike. Thank you for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with another video.